All right, today we're cracking open a really interesting blueprint for a whole new kind of economy. It's called the GENII ecosystem. And the big idea here, it's all about solving some of the world's most massive problems just by changing how we think about the stuff we buy every day. So let's dive right in. So first things first, what's the problem this whole system is even trying to fix? Well, according to the source materials, we're facing this trio of issues that are all connected. You've got financial insecurity, a lack of good, healthy food, and just this general feeling of being disconnected from our own economy. You spend your money and it just disappears into these big, complex systems, right? You don't really see where it goes or what it builds. And that brings us to the core question, the one this entire idea is built on. What if your daily spending could actually build a brand new, more secure economy from the ground up? Think about that. It's a complete flip of the script on consumer power. It's about turning something you do every single day into a powerful tool for building real, tangible wealth and security for yourself and others. Okay, so the solution they're proposing is this engine, really. The sources call it the consumer to asset integrated economy. Big name, I know, but the concept is actually pretty straightforward. It's designed to take your everyday purchases and turn them directly into ownership of real productive assets. Things that grow in value. It's a huge idea, so let's really get into the nuts and bolts of how it's supposed to work. Believe it or not, it all kicks off with this, a single product, a 110-gram, 400-calorie nutritional bar they call the BarNess Miracle Bar. Now, according to this blueprint, this isn't just some snack. This is the catalyst. It's the tangible, physical entry point for you, the consumer, to get into this whole system. It's the fuel for the entire economic engine we're talking about. Okay, and here's where it gets really clever. This is the core mechanic. See that 20% slice? For every single bar that's sold, a full 20% of the revenue, not the profit, the revenue gets automatically funneled into this investment fund, the AI AgriWealth Fund. This isn't some bonus or a profit-sharing thing. It's hard-coded right into the DNA of the system. And this diagram really pulls it all together. It shows you the whole loop. You buy the bar, right? That spending flows into the ecosystem. The system then takes that capital and uses it to buy real tangible assets. We're talking about actual land. That land then generates more value and returns, which then feeds back into the system. It's this powerful, self-reinforcing loop. So how does it actually do this? Well, the system has two key parts, two financial vehicles that work together. The sources use a fantastic analogy for this, comparing it to the human body. First, you have the AI AgriWealth Fund. Think of this as the circulatory system. It's active, it's dynamic, it's pumping the capital where it needs to go. Then you have the BarNessQION REIT. And for those who don't know, a REIT is a real estate investment trust. This is the skeleton. It's the solid foundational structure that actually buys and holds the land, giving the whole thing a rock-solid asset-backed foundation. All right, so we've got the engine, but how do you take an idea this big and actually build it? Well, you need a plan. And this blueprint lays out a really detailed 4-phase global rollout to take this whole vision from a concept to a full-blown reality. And you can see the roadmap is designed to be really strategic, to de-risk the whole thing as it grows. Phase 1 kicks off in Canada, where they'll secure the initial funding and buy that first piece of property for the REIT. Then, Phase 2 moves to the UAE to set up all the financial plumbing and line up partners for mass production. After that foundation is set, Phase 3 is all about scale, ramping up to 2 million bars a day. And finally, Phase 4 is the big manifestation, launching these experiential destinations they call Royal Oasis. And get this, according to the source documents, this isn't just a bunch of ideas on paper. They state that the first 2 phases are actually underway. So that means securing the initial property in Canada and setting up the financial and production logistics in the UAE. They're already moving. But let's talk about Phase 3. Because this is the real game changer. 2 million meals daily. That number is huge, and it's not just some ambitious target they pulled out of thin air. The documents frame this as the minimum scale required to actually make a dent in global hunger. That's the core mission driving this whole thing. Okay, a plan this huge, this complex, you're probably wondering who or what is steering the ship. Well, this is where it gets a little futuristic. The whole thing is managed by a proprietary AI, and it's all built around a really strict ethical framework. That AI is called GENII, which stands for Generative Intentional Intelligence, and they describe it as the system's central nervous system. Think of it as the brain of the operation. It's using predictive algorithms to optimize everything, from the farm all the way to the family table. The goal, as the sources put it, is to create guilt-free progress. Basically, they want to ensure that every single step, every transaction is efficient, ethical, and perfectly aligned with the main mission, right from the get-go. So how do you make sure an AI stays on mission? Well, GNE is governed by what they call the ClubQILL safety protocol. It's 3 simple but unbreakable rules. Rule number 1, do no harm. That's the baseline, an absolute filter for every single action. Rule 2, do good. This means every action has to create real, tangible value for the community or the asset base. And Rule 3 is pretty interesting. Ask if unsure. They call it the Aikido protocol, and it's basically a way to handle any gray areas by initiating a dialogue to find the right path. So this isn't just a traditional company structure. They call it the 5-element flywheel, and it's designed to create this incredible synergy. It's not just 5 separate departments. Each one fuels the next in a continuous loop. So, for example, the community buys the product. That money fuels the technology and the foundation. The foundation buys more land. That land becomes the basis for the experiences. And those incredible experiences bring more people into the community, which starts the whole cycle over again, but stronger this time. It's a really holistic vision. And this is the end game. This is what it's all building towards. The final phase culminates in creating these royal oases sanctuaries. Imagine these incredible ecotourism destinations built on all that land the REIT has been acquiring. They're designed to be totally self-sustaining communities, focused on things like permaculture, education, and deep community engagement. It's a physical manifestation of the entire philosophy. So, if you had to boil this whole massive ambition down to one sentence, one of the source documents says it perfectly. It's about creating an integrated economy that transforms the act of eating into a strategic investment in the planet's future. It's about taking one of the most basic human acts and turning it into something that builds a better world. Which, of course, leaves us with the big, lingering question at the heart of all this. Can a consumer product, a simple nutritional bar, really be the catalyst for a land-backed, AI-governed economy that could actually end global hunger? I mean, it's an absolutely incredible vision, connecting something so small to something so monumental. And whether or not this is a truly viable blueprint for the future, well, that's the question we're left to think about.